How the hell are we doing today? Wayne Gravatt with fishheadvideos.com. We're back in the basement tying flies. The fly we're going to tie today is called Freddy Mercury. For those of you that don't know who Freddy Mercury was the lead singer for a group called Queen. It's kind of a tribute to his music and a tribute to the man. So that's the story behind it. Little history on this fly. I used to tie a muddler minnow dry fly version that was very similar to this fly, and a friend of mine was kind of playing around with some foam and brought it down to me one day, and it just went on from there. It's a really good fly. It's one that you can fish. It represents a hopper, but it works as a lot of different kind of terrestrials or just an attractor. It takes droppers really well, and it's a good fly. So I want to get started on it, but the one thing that I want to reinforce again is we need those subscribes. Let's hit that button. It's absolutely free. So with that, let's get on to the materials. Okay, for the hook today, this is a 2X long, size 10, light wire. I generally tie this in 12 to 8s. You can go 6s is too, you know, play with that. The thread we're using today is 6/0 red waxed Danville. The body material, again, is polypropylene. You could dub this body, though, and that's an example of it. You can buy that online. It's extremely cheap and super, super handy. The tail is going to be, that's crystal flash. That's red in this particular case. And then for the overwing, this is the one that I'm talking about when I'm referencing Antron. That product is called Needle Loft. That's another one you can buy in hobby shops. You can order that online. It comes in an array of colors. It's a good material. This is polypropylene, which is my preferred. It floats better than the Antron. We're using two kinds of poly dubbing here today, as you'll see as we get going. And then the legs are super floss. So with that, let's get going on the fly. Okay. So here we go. First thing we're going to do, just like we do in everything, so we're going to put a nice thread base on there so it gives something to hold on to. Okay, just like that. Then we're going to take that red crystal flash. We're probably going to grab maybe, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, right in there somewhere. Just going to set that probably about 1/3 of the way back from the bend of the hook. Last that down to the top of the hook. Just like that. Nice. Okay, now we're going to go in there with this polypropylene yarn. Now we're going to go up here just to make this body just a little bit fuller, and it'll also give it some more flotation. And we're going to bring that thread back right to the start of the crystal flash. Bring your thread back up. Good. Leave yourself about 1/4 of an inch for the head. We don't want to crowd that head. Wrap that polypropylene up. Good. Just like that. Okay. Got that tag. Now, you'll note here I'm using one that was pre-formed. Normally I just cut these, but I just happen to have this one lying around there, so I just grabbed it. So the length that you want on that, let's see, can you see that? Just like that. That's about the length that we're looking for on that particular piece of foam. Keep in mind that there's going to be some of that foam covered up in the front. All right, so here we go. So we're going to lay that foam in there just like that. See where that eye is. Pull that forward just a little bit. About right there. Okay, it's going to work. Now we're going to wrap back. Don't even bother cutting off that little tag. It'll just help everything. Flash that down nice and tight though. That thread will turn. There. Foam's going to turn on you a bit. Just like that. Okay. Now, we're going to take some of this light tan dubbing. Grasshoppers kind of have a bigger head, so we're trying to kind of copy what nature's got there. So we're going to add a little dubbing there, increase that size a little bit. Let's go a little bit more. All right, I'm going to wrap that back. Right to the point where the body and the head are. We're going to bring that foam back just like that. This whole thing will slide forward just a tiny bit. So we're going to pull that back just like that. Nice. You can kind of start to see that nice profile that it's given. Okay. Now, we're going to take this polypropylene yarn, give it a brush, or if we were using the Antron, the same thing. You would separate those strands of the Antron. Trim that off. Okay, and we're going to set that right up on top. And that's the fish isn't really going to see that. That's for you. That's to locate that on the water. It's not really a wing per se, as it's more as just kind of an indicator for you. Okay, then the final touches on this fly, and these are a little bit long. I'm going to kind of trim them down just a little bit right out of the gates here. Like how long they are. Now we're going to lay those in there on the sides. Okay, so just about like that. On this particular fly, we're going to have the front legs quite a bit smaller than the back legs, because if you look at a hopper, that's kind of how they are. You see those long back legs, and that's going to what we're trying to epitomize here. So we're going to bring that one in a little bit, just about like that. And you can either trim these in the vise or you can wait. I think we're just going to wait. Okay, then the last touch right here, and this is always this, I told you about how I did that Muddler Minnow of yesteryear, and I always use this red dubbing, and I don't know, I was a firm believer. It just seemed like it worked really well for me. Now we're going to put that right in there, and it's going to cover up those pieces of the legs adjacent to the head, just like that. All right, I dropped my whip finisher. I apologize for that. I'm gonna whip finish that guy. Them legs. Just going to check them and make sure they're pretty close to the same length. Head cement. And there you go. Again, Freddy Mercury, good fly. You're going to like this fly. I want you to use this fly. And the last thing I want to leave you with is we need you to subscribe. So thank you for viewing again. So here we go. That's the Freddy Mercury. I hope you enjoyed this fly. And let me tell you guys, we need you to hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. There's no reason not to subscribe. We'd love to have you. Thank you for viewing, and give them hell.